now. I'll leave a water now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, can I say when I move from here, I'll free? Can I say when I move from here, I'll free? You say I won't talk again. I wanted to mean who talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, looking, then you want force and now more word there again. Why not be looking to the top? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office, I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come to get there. You say you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man, you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I'll not there.
Nobody, you getting very. You say asking you too much question. Hey, just explain things. You make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then do.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more question again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
See, Ali, you take time. You take time.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
I said I can take time
to explain. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead now.
Yeah, so like I said, but them is Francis. I'm a brother on the taxi. From town for home.
Yes, indeed. Don't dare throw stones when you live in a glass house. What thoughts are bouncing around in your head today? What are those thoughts leading you to do? Many aspects of your experience are beyond your control. Yet your thoughts are yours to direct precisely as you choose. Those thoughts filter and interpret everything that happens. They serve as precursors for all the actions you take and the words you speak. As such, your thoughts played a big role in the flavor of your perception and in the quality of your results. Those thoughts and you deserve your best intentions and your careful guidance. What are you thinking now? What will you be thinking a couple of hours from now? Where will those thoughts get you? What real and lasting goodness will they help bring to your life? Think about what you think and take positive, intentional, purposeful control. Arrange your thoughts so they improve the value of all you experience and all that you do. Welcome to the OK Conversation. This is the last edition in the month of May. Fresh Monday morning will be in June. Julius Jed is going to be here to begin that month. It's the lead host of the conversation. My name is Trokon Wrepue. I'm here every Friday. Julius will say the biggest thing on radio anywhere in the country at about this time. And I dare say the best thing that has happened to Liberia is the OK Conversation. Welcome to it. At 4:45 up to 6 p.m. we have with us as our guest Statutory District former Representative Vincent Samuel Tinizi Willie, fresh from the United Kingdom. Vincent will join us We will talk about We District. He called it We Nation. The current lawmaker Alfred Flomo says it is not a nation, it is a district. Vincent Wade keeps on his thought and said no, it is a nation. I prepare a nation and left it with you. Does Mr. Wade still recognize we as a nation? We will put we on the spotlight, Grand Bassa, and then talk national politics.
And if you don't like my
Between now and 4:45, lots to talk about. Liberia delegation is present in the United States. Oh yes, Liberia is bidding to sit as a non-permanent member on the UN Security Council. The election is the 3rd of June. 4 days to go or what? But I'm sure 5 days, yes? We are all hoping the nation will be made proud. Our counterparts across the world will cast votes for Liberia. The delegation is huge. We are hoping to speak with the House's Committee Chair on Foreign Affairs, Representative Neka Gay, on the line from New York City. Our own Clarence Jackson is going to provide coverage for the elections on the 3rd. Clarence will also join us on the line with our preparation. Where are we? Are there signals that Liberia will make it? It will be a national pride to see our country once again ascend to that position. We did that nearly 50 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Or say in the 60s or the 70s, when we last sat on that council. We are hoping to renew. Liberia must take its place amongst the Committee of Nations globally. Welcome, my name is Trokon Wrepue. That's the shape of the program. Let's do this very quickly. Let's go around the African continent to bring you what's making news. Oh yes, how I love this one. At least 110 people have died in floods caused by torrential rain in the central Nigeria area. Officials have told the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC. Rainfall lasted for several hours, said the head of Nigeria State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba Ara. Yes, I'm sure we'll also be hearing from Representatives Michael Thomas and Asik Bani. They're all in the United States. So back to this development. Abdullahi Baba Ara Aled, the surging rain floor water submerged and washed away over 50 residential houses with their occupants, according to SIMA. The Tafin Maza and Angoa Hausawa district of Mokwa town were worst affected. Mokwa's district head Mohammed Sabah Ali said it has been 60 years since the community had to suffer this kind of flood. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of that region in Nigeria. Yes, we move on. A suspect wanted for murder of an African university student has been killed in a shootout with police. The man had been linked to the death of Olaroto Bongali, whose body was found in Johannesburg on Sunday, about 2 hours after she was reported missing, having gone on a date. In the early hours of Friday morning, police officers found the main suspect hiding at a residential complex in the coastal town of Amazim Toti. Police spokesman at Heldner Marty said the suspect, who's not being named by the police, shot the officers who returned fire and killed him. Brigadier Marty added. This one is going to form part of our talking point, but it's on the BBC. It's a local story. Flights were temporarily disrupted as Liberia main airport on Thursday night. That's Thursday night after the private jet carrying President Joseph Boakai almost crashed while landing. Part of the presidential jet landing gear malfunctioned while approaching the runway, causing a rough landing, airport authorities said. The incident, which sparked panic at the airport, forced the cancellation of all scheduled flights for the night. Local media reported President Boakai was returning from a trip in Nigeria where his entourage was first safely evacuated unharmed as authorities announced an investigation. And the photo of our own president is attached to this BBC story. Happy birthday to Montserrat County Senator Darius Dillon. He celebrates his birthday on today. He's also in the United States. He is a Senate committee chair on foreign affairs. Happy birthday to Ina Johnson of the LMP, senior officer, CO2. Yeah. You can get that one from OKFM family and our dearest Olive Johnson. Olive Johnson? Oh, this Stevenson. Hey, look at something coming at me. Oh, this Stevenson Johnson the B. That's but that is it. We take a break, folks. Lots to talk about. We will be back.
They want me falling like this. I'm not getting on air to go transfer money to my son.
My friend, you know here for the new app here in town?
But what kind of apps again?
Ghana Cash. It makes sending money easy like beans and bread.
You really mean that? Ma, tell me more about this app here.
You can send money from Liberia to Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, even Guinea. You can also receive money too.
Tell me something. Then you mean I can't get on the ring here?
No standing in line business. Anywhere you see Ghana Cash sticker or logo in money changer area, shops and bank, go there and transfer your money to your phone. So you can be able to send money anywhere, anytime at your convenience. They are located on 14th Street, Single, Russia Avenue.
Ma, thank you for the so money, Jesus.
It's an app you can download on your phone. And
Your favorite RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kendejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkendejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Rushing. Why are you rushing to so?
You Judy, don't give me hard time, man. I'm going to the bank to get my cash because the bank was so close.
You can use the ATM?
My ATM card expired ever since.
My man, you don't need ATM card. Just use the mobile app and generate an e-token. All you have to do is to just log on the app, you click on Express Cash. Then you select ATM. From there now you select generate e-token. Then you select the account you want the money to come from. From there you select the currency that you want. If they're Liberian dollars or US dollars. Then you put in the amount that you want, whether $10 or $20, you put it in and you generate your e-token. It's simple, like 8 numbers that will come to you. When you get that number, just go to any ATM name. All you have to do is to just select the C Express Cash on the ATM now. The place where you're supposed to put your ATM pin, that way you pull that 8 number. Then it will ask you for the amount. That money where you generated, that money will come with the ATM will pay you.
So simple. Ego Binance for me again. Oh. I will always make use of the Express service big time. Echo Bank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you. Welcome back to the conversation. Let's recognize 3 of the people who are following us. Leo Dolo is watching. Joseph Kaiwe Jr., Elizabeth Blyon. Elizabeth follows from Plebo City in Maryland County, Southeastern Maryland. Good afternoon. Elizabeth, say hi to the rest of our Liberians there. Daniel Tinte follows. Frederick Bono. Othello Grisby follows from Painesville City, GS Road. One Jebo says, I'm drinking coffee. I'll let you live branch can drink. Wow. Following truck. Oh, I'm gonna drink coffee too. Send me the coffee money. Che William Yanti. The people who never shows face. Every day, man. Anyway, I'll talk you off there. Roland W. Tor, journalist Ture, Ma Anderson, Adam Lamy Ture is following, James Lamy, Ralph Cooper, and the rest of the guys who are following. Welcome to the conversation. Yes, so it's a good thing, and like I said, on the 3rd of June will be 14th day. Liberia has announced its bait. We campaigned and convinced the rest of the world, or we've spoken to the rest of the world, informing them that this time we are ready as a country to lead, not just leading, but to sit on the Security Council as a non-permanent member to make decision. We are capable. We are a country with a very rich past history. We know what it takes to suffer for 14 consecutive years in bloodshed. We know what it takes to be in peacekeeping mission. We know what it takes to serve we know what it takes to serve on the Security Council to make peace. Okay. We know what it takes to serve to make peace. So Liberia is a post-conflict success story. evidenced by all of what we've been through as a nation. We've gone to civil conflict, we've ceased fire, we've returned to democracy, we've sent our soldiers to other countries on peacekeeping mission. We've been a model, a role model which other countries have followed. So, in my view, and in the views of many, it is important for us to sit and provide direction, which is a very good thing for any Liberian to wish for. So we are also going to have with us speak to two other lawmakers. I said, yes. Representative Margaret Thomas will join us. Representative Isaac Bani will also speak with us. And if possible, we might talk to somebody big too, who might do so. But it's good to have all of you on. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, let me do this very quickly. Okay. So we'll talk about that at around 4:15 upward. So like I said, Clarence Jackson will also join us. Clarence is in New York. He's going to provide coverage. You know, at the launch of the campaign, Clarence was one of two journalists who went for the launch. So it was important and just right to have him back to do coverage for the elections. And we are all hoping for a very good news. So this story from the BBC, since last evening, it has made rounds as it relates to what unfolded last evening when President Joseph Boakai was returning from the ECOWAS celebration of the ECOWAS 50th anniversary. So there were temporary disruption of flights at the Liberian airport, the Rabas International Airport, because the private jet the president was riding on had an issue. According to information, the tire burst, and thankfully for us, the president and his team was evacuated. The president was in sound mind and very stable condition. He had a conversation with the media, and as if to say nothing happened. So that was it. Nothing bad happened to the president, of which we are grateful for. And sometimes these things happen. They're mechanical faults, and there will always be mechanical faults. But our prayer has always been, as we travel, as our leaders traveled, we hope and pray they return home safely. So I was trying to read this out, coming from the Rabas International Airport. Coming from the Rabat International Airport, it says, for immediate release, Liberia Airport Authority confirms removal of disabled aircraft from runway. Flight operation resumes. Monrovia. The Liberia Airport Authority, the LAA, wishes to inform the general public, air travelers, and stakeholders that the aircraft involved in a runway accident incident earlier today, which was yesterday, May 29, 2025, has been safely removed from the active portion of the runway at the Rabas International Airport, RIA. The incident involved a private jet that experienced a tire burst upon landing, resulting in the aircraft becoming temporarily immobile on the runway, meaning it couldn't move. LAA's emergency response team, in collaboration with technical aviation personnel, swiftly deployed all necessary resources to manage the situation. Thanks to this immediate and coordinated effort, the aircraft has now been cleared and normal flight operations have officially resumed. In light of public speculation, the LAA categorically refutes misinformation suggesting that the incident was caused by poor runway condition. The runway infrastructure remains fully compliant with international aviation safety standards. The incident was solely due to a mechanical issue involving the aircraft style and not the condition of the runway. Importantly, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai Sr. and all other individuals on board were safely evacuated without injury, in full alignment with the airport's emergency response procedures. The LAA remains committed to ensuring the highest standards of safety, efficiency, and transparency in all airport operations. We thank the public for their patience and understanding, and will continue to provide updates as necessary. And then this one came later. RI resumed flights of a runway incident involving private jet. Flights operation at the Rabat International Airport officially resumed following a temporary suspension caused by a runway incident involving a private jet carrying President Joseph Boakai. According to the Liberia Airport Authority, the jet suffered a tire burst while landing Thursday evening, rendering the aircraft immobile on the runway and forcing airport authorities to cancel all scheduled flights for the night. Emergency response teams supported by aviation technical personnel immediately deployed on the scene. The aircraft has since been removed and the active section of the runway following or allowing normal airport operations to continue. In a statement issued Thursday night, the IAA emphasized that all passengers on board, including President Boakai, were safely evacuated without injury in accordance with established airport emergency procedures. So that is it for that. Yesterday, the Supreme Court of Liberia ruled into a bill of information filed by the CDC. You know, there's been this back and forth, the rigmarole between the CDC and the owners of where they reside, where the CDC is headquartered. So that case began as far back as 2016, yes, if my memory can set me right, and it dragged on. Proceedings into that case could not be speedily done from 2018 onward to 2023 because, quote unquote, according to one of the parties, the CDC was in power and there wouldn't have been any further lawsuit or any further litigation on grounds that they, as a party, was not confident that during the regime of the CDC, anything substantial or better would have come out of the case on ground that the CDC was in power and it was the CDC that they were going against. That could be understood, but did they give it a try? No. So the Supreme Court dismissed the bill of information filed by the Congress for Democratic Change. And there's been a long-standing property dispute involving the interstate estate of Martha Stubberfield Bernard and the interstate estate of Wayden Thomas Bernard. So these two families are claiming ownership of the place, and then the CDC is caught in the middle. They will go on to note that the Martha Stubberfield would then become the original owner of the property from all the litigation proceedings. And then after all, the lower court ruled in 2024 that the CDC should be evacuated, should be evacuated or evicted. Eviction proceedings should go on so that the properties be turned over to the original owner recognized by the court, which is the Matter Stopperfield Bernard Estate Operated. So that ruling was done. The CDC said no. We are going to take an appeal, which is important. So the CDC took flight to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, the final arbiter of justice in the country. Following months of review and legal presentations and submissions and argument, the court ruled and said, look, this bit of information you filed CDC was not filed rightfully. So the CDC ruled and said, not the CDC, the Supreme Court ruled and said this bit of information was not filed correctly. We're getting singular that we might be out of power anytime soon. So if I'm talking and I go off, I'm sorry, but that is a singular we are getting. We hope it gets better before time catch up with us. But fast forward, the court said what the CDC did was not in the right legal frame. And the CDC recognizing and paying rental expenses and then coming back, and then this legal back and forth between the two other parties. So the CDC argument has been they recognize the Bernard family as the owner of the property, but since the Bernard family accepted rental expenses from them as a tenant, they will want to continue with the rental expenses and do the payment. The Bernard family is saying that is the Matter Stopperfield, the interstate estate of Matter Stopperfield Bernard represented. They say no, give our property. So the CDC said, oh, we'll do a bill of information, but the Supreme Court, being the Supreme Court, has said the way it is, what the CDC has filed, we see no legal reasoning behind it. So the lower court decision is what is being upheld, meaning the evasion can continue. So this is where the CDC finds itself. I don't know where it goes next, because if you reach a Supreme Court and the Supreme Court do a ruling, yeah, there's still a window to appeal the decision of the court. Yeah, you can do that, but after the bit of information, do you still have a window to appeal that decision? The legal people are going to tell us, but the CDC finds itself in the deep, fundamental trouble. If some very tough negotiation do not go on, they might be evicted, taken from their original headquarters in Congo Town. They are very ideally situated and located. They have, by far, they have the widest or the biggest space among parties, infrastructures in the country. And Julius has been keen on political parties having their properties, owning properties, and not just people renting and take people property, rent it, and so forth and so on. So yesterday we had the same conversation. Why, if these political parties are institutionalized and not dependent on who's the highest bidder, who got the highest money? For instance, we know how plenty of these political parties around here are funded, whose pocket money comes from. We don't hear a lot of people paying dues so that the party can stay. We are standing firm on the due payments and we're living on dues. But sometimes, so sometimes it is what it is. And these suggestions have been made that we might go ahead to these political parties can go ahead to get their own properties to reside there so that generations to come can know that the party had a property. This is the property of the family, the party. So that people will not come tomorrow and tell the party, like in the case of the CDC, oh, you leave our land, oh, you leave our property, when the CDC has already established and, carry on infrastructure development and everything. So parties, these political parties, we need to start to institutionalize them. Our members need to pay dues. Some fees should be paid so that it goes towards the operation of these political parties. Unfortunately, we are getting simpler at any moment from now. We will go off due to power outage, and I don't know. But if we go off abruptly, that's it. But I'm sure we're going to come back. So that's it with the CDC. We want to know what happened next, but all the legal remedies have been exhausted. They've landed at the Supreme Court, and the court has ruled the way it ruled and said there was no legal basis found in what was filed by the CDC. So that is it, and maybe there will be on a ground negotiation. If not, if no decision is reached, then it means the CDC will have to pack and leave where it occupies right now. So that is it. And moving forward, we've been talking about the roads connection in the country. The Minister of Public Works has come out to give clear-cut information on how road proceedings are ongoing, what we've paid for, what we've not, what are the ones we are earmarking to carry on development with them, so on and so forth. So Mr. Guinness will talk about a lot of the roads in community roads in Monrovia, Macerado, and environs. We will also see pavement of community roads in Kakata City. I understand the ministry is working actively to open up alleys in cities like Buchanan, in Maryland County, Harper, and all other cities across the country. And they will also talk about roads in southeastern Liberia. This is where a lot of emphasis and concentration should be, especially when it comes to the bigger picture of road development in the country. The Chinese will say the development roads begin with, the development begins with the development roads. So if we were to picture what has happened in southeastern Liberia for the last 170 plus years, it is pathetic. And I sometimes ask myself, why is it cities like Wrepue, cities like Harper are laid out, they are paved, and the concrete pavement and the pavement of the city and the alleyways are still strong, they're still laid out, even up to date, though some need repairs, but you still see the concrete pavement. And know that during those days, people who didn't, in the 80s and the 70s, use real concretes and standard materials, owing to how long these pavement, the streets, have lasted.